Well, hello there, it is Q&A time. I asked for your questions, and you beautiful little freaks delivered. So, if your question isn't in this video, it'll be in the next one, because I'm going to break this into 2 parts. If you had to give up chocolate or cheese, which would you choose and why? Chocolate, 150%, because I love cheese so much, and I'm not a big chocolate person. Chocolate I could do without, cheese I could not. 5-step process to become you. Well, Marlene, I will make a video just on that entirely for you. And for everyone else, because I feel like we could all benefit from becoming a little bit more like me. Have you figured out more about my magic blood yet? No, Anthony, I have not, because I've been concentrating mainly on myself. But when we do figure out more, trust me, you'll know. And also, this is something that we probably shouldn't be discussing publicly. Favorite tune for power dancing in your living room? Anything loud. So, the One Direction Take Me Home album is great, very loud. Anything by NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys is great, really, really loud. Musicals. Really, anything really loud. I just like playing pop music very, very loudly. Read us something you wrote when you first realized you wanted to be an author. I never really realized that I wanted to be an author because writing's something that I've always just enjoyed and been pretty good at. So there wasn't ever a time where I like decided that I wanted to write. But I did make a video in 2011, which you can find here, where I read out a bunch of stuff that I wrote when I was a small child. And I was exactly the same as I am now. Have you ever considered being a travel journalist? I have, to an extent. I did a bit of journalism at uni because I did a lot of creative writing. Journalism in itself is something that doesn't appeal to me at all. I used to think it did until I actually tried it and realized I hated it. Like news journalism, I would rather shoot myself in the face. I just cannot. I could never be a journalist. But travel writing is something that I'm really, really interested in. I would really, really like to write a travel book, and I have a few ideas for that. So yeah, definitely something to do with travel writing is something that I would very, very, very much enjoy doing as a profession. Will Veg Untold now forever be untold? I don't know, because we're not friends anymore. Did I scare you? I'm very protective over the meaning of Veg Untold because when I found out what it was better than anything I could have imagined, and I laughed so hard that I cried. He is the colors of the wind at this point in life, and none of us can really predict what he will or will not do or reveal. So just leave that to the enigma that is George. Does the birdhouse from the birdhouse tag still exist, and is it even remotely adequate at birdhousing? It does exist. It is in my mom's backyard. I'll insert a picture if I can find it. She displays it proudly right next to her fence in a corner. And I don't live with my mom, so I don't know if it's adequate at bird housing, but I like to imagine that if it doesn't house any birds yet, it's just because the right bird hasn't come along. And the right bird, I feel, would be the bird that writes the pro-bird rights activists' Twitter. That is my favorite Twitter account because it is me but a bird. Top 3 favorite books. This is my favorite book at the moment. It is Venice: A New History. It is literally a history of Venice and I'm really enjoying that. In keeping with Venice, one of my favorite books that I've read in the last couple of years is The Thief Lord, which is like, it's a children's book. And I read this when I was in Venice in 2011, so I felt very involved in the story. One of my favorite books that I studied at school was The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. It's a play, but I have it in book form, so that counts. How much do you love, respect, and admire twitter.com/JakeZors on a scale of 10 to 10? Well, it used to be a 10, until you launched some scathing attacks on things that I hold very dear, such as Guy Sebastian. So I don't really know where we stand right now, to be honest. Like, you can come back from this because you are JakeZors, but I don't know, you're gonna have to be a bit more tactful in the future. Why not the internet? Well, Kelly, I don't know. Why would you ask me that? Because I have to try and be funny now. I don't know. Kelly, why? Why? God damn it, Kelly. You're the worst. Last time you were very disappointed. One of the places where Fiona and I order food regularly no longer does home delivery. So I think that was the last time that I was very disappointed because they do really good fries. Like really good. And like, I'm not about to get on a tram and go get them myself. Like, no thank you. It's 2015. I'm not a peasant. Number 1 film you'd recommend to a friend? Backstreet Boys movie. If you haven't seen A Knight's Tale, with Heath Ledger. Watch that. I think that is my favorite movie. Where is your favorite place in the world? Italy in general. I'm just really happy being there. Somewhere that I'm like familiar enough with to be comfortable there, but also it's just really exciting to me still every time that I go there. Are Nando's as cheeky in Australia as they are in the UK? Everything is cheekier in Australia. Guy Sebastian or the Backstreet Boys? Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys over literally anybody other than my immediate family. That's not an exaggeration. I've loved the Backstreet Boys for minimum 17 years at this point. 17, 18 years, which is longer than a lot of you have been alive. So as attached as you are to your families, that's how attached I am to the Backstreet Boys. What's your favorite guilty pleasure movie? I don't have any guilty pleasures. I've talked about this with my god sister Sussy, and we think it comes down to the fact that we have been too smug our entire lives to ever not be really proud of the things that we like, even when we shouldn't be. When people try and be really indie, they hide the fact that they like pop music and stuff. Whereas we're the opposite. When we like something that's indie, we hide that shit. So we would go and get sushi and then go see a foreign movie at the cinema in Fremantle. Those foreign movies are our secret shame. So probably like a solid foreign film would be my guilty pleasure. Are you proud of the impact the Birdhouse tag has made on YouTube and the world in general? I am so proud. The Birdhouse tag is quite literally my greatest achievement and gift to the world to date, and I think that's all I can really say about it. When faced with the challenge of doing things, how do you avoid them? Never be good at something that you don't want to do. This is bad advice for me to give people, but it is advice that I follow myself on a daily basis. If you don't want to do something, don't be good at it, because if you're good at something, people are going to make you do that again. Do you have any secret talents, or what is your party trick? I don't really, because most things that I'm good at I like to make very clear to all around me. I don't think I have anything that's really a party trick, but I am weirdly flexible. Like, my joints are messed up. I've got extra cartilage, so I like to say I have shark joints. So I can touch my armpit with my foot on the same side. That's fun. I can pull that out at a party. Who is your celebrity crush? I don't even know anymore, because it was always Zayn, and now I can't get behind what's going on right now. So it's not Zayn anymore. Gaspar, that French guy that I've been obsessed with since I was like 15, he's always going strong. He's fabulous. But at the moment, I'm very into Marcus from Plebs. His real name, what's his, Tom? Yep. I think his real name is Tom Rosenthal. He plays Marcus on the TV show Plebs, and I'm like really, like, I'm not obsessed with him to the point where it like occupies my thoughts a lot, but when I see him, I'm like, yeah. Have you watched Pretty Little Liars, and if so, who's your favorite girl and guy? I have watched some of Pretty Little Liars when it first came out, but then I saw the Halloween episode and it scared me, and I've never watched it since then because I get scared very, very easily. Also, there is just something about the entire cast of that show where every single person has just something a bit off about them, so I cannot find them attractive. Alice H asked for tips for feeling happy, and I'm gonna make an entire video on this very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. What is your favorite kind of shark? My favorite kind of shark, it used to be great white, because they are just like the scariest ones. Comedic value, probably a hammerhead shark, but the answer in my heart is probably a tiger shark. Can you explain what a platypus is without using the word duck? A platypus, in my heart, is the natural embodiment of Australia as a whole, because it seems impractical. The rest of the world doesn't quite understand it. It shouldn't really exist, and it can probably beat the crap out of you if it wants to. So the question you asked is, what is a platypus? And my answer is, it is all of us, each and every one of us as an Australian. And it is also something that, like the hammerhead shark, probably shouldn't exist, but I'm very glad it does. That is the end of the first installment of my Quandas. I enjoyed literally every single one of your questions. So good job, y'all. And I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye. We did it.